Karibu, welcome back. I almost said Rudy, Rudy kwa screens.
Yeah.
Welcome back to your screens. This is Politics Today, hapa Science TV. And tunachapa siasa, by the way. We welcome you to chapa siasa with us. 0111980384. Our sign language interpreter in this section is Wanjang Ngede. And we have the SG himself, Nicholas Oyo. Yes.
Yes, John.
By the way, you know a state in the US called Ohio.
Ohio.
Yes.
I'll go there and yeah.
Yes.
A lot of elections ikifanyika na nasikia Ohio. Yeah.
Okay, Oyo. Okay. Now, we are talking international. You know,
Yes.
you have just spoken about a city, but then Africa, something good has just happened.
Yeah, leadership in Africa is also there, and we have people who we need
Yes.
to congratulate in this Africa.
Africa Leadership magazine has just nominated somebody from our country.
Yes.
And it's a woman.
Martha Koome, you
Yes.
have been nominated. Congratulations. Also nominated is a vice president in Benin. Chalata. The name is a bit tough.
Yes.
And I'll also give my accolades, as I promised, to one person who have looked at here. Mwingi West, Member of Parliament. We talked about him. This
Come
is
on.
Charles Guna. Charles Guna Gusia.
Yes.
He's the one who talked about his Mwingi West,
Yes.
Wiper MP. You should bring him here. He said that this parliament is not working. So you bring him here and let him tell you from inside what I was saying.
But that thing it's a horror. It's not true.
But this is a
horror.
person inside who says that parliament is not working.
These are people who
he
get
needs to
paid.
come and tell you here.
No, these people get paid. These leaders get paid.
Yeah, it's
They
amazing.
are our leaders. We have no other leaders. These are our leaders. We own them. We are the ones who
pay
voted
them,
for them.
We pay them, we voted for them, but then they work for someone else. It's like your maid who you have paid and everything, and then he goes to the neighboring house.
No.
What did you do in that case?
You cannot compare our parliamentarians. Okay, not that our maids are any low.
No, it's not low.
Domestic managers.
I mean, this is a
are
hustler
great
government.
people.
Jonah, this is a hustler government. So
Yes.
I mean, I'm right to go. Okay, should I send Kokoteni person who you've given your goods and then he goes to the other and takes them to the other place?
Maybe a TV host like me.
Yeah, okay. But this is a hustler government.
Yes,
So, yeah,
yes.
it's supposed to be for the people down there. Yeah.
Yes.
Who are supposed to be brought up, but apparently
There was a time when Liberia, the women, you remember when they stormed the meeting in Ghana? The AU meeting, and they said nothing will go on until Taylor is dealt with. And actually they went to Ghana with padlocks all the way from Liberia. Those who could take buses, they took buses. Those who could, sorry for that.
So,
It's not an emergency call, maybe, unless God is calling.
God would call you differently, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you're talking about Taylor, the question that women fighting for leadership.
Yes, they played a role. You are in the human rights space, civil societies.
Yes.
They actually went all the way to Ghana. Yes.
And Jonah, this is something that we need to understand, and I'm going to take some time to look at the studies about
it's not a joke to travel from Liberia
leadership
to Ghana.
Leadership, and when women decide to take decisions, Jonah. I'll tell you,
it is scary what they did. They literally filled every space.
But most decisions,
every
Jonah,
place.
when revolutions are happening, look at revolutions, you'll find women involved. And I'll give you an example of the French Revolution. It was a bread revolution. It was women. The one we had in Sudan, it was women involved. So really, Jonah, women, when they come into this space, you have a problem. When you know women are coming and they are participating in a revolution, Jonah, you know you're going home.
But you see, it always touches on them directly, because in Liberia's case, they were saying it is our children who are being recruited into the tailor's army, you know, there was the child soldier issues.
Yeah.
And they said they are protesting. And they, literally, the whole world came to a standstill until Taylor left.
And you know, Jonah, when women get into some of these things, even here in Kenya, we have a question of alcoholism, and you see these women who are coming out to fight about it.
Yeah.
Jonah, when women are involved, know that this thing has gone into the rot, into the house, into the bone and everything. That's when women come out. And when they do come out, Jonah, if you're the one who is in leadership, take off. I give you a very good advice. Take off.
Yeah, Monica Wangu.
Because it means you're going home.
Monica Wangu passed on the other day. You know Monica Wangu? Koigi Wamwere's mother.
Yes.
And when it happened, it was very shocking during Moi's government. Suddenly, the women stripped naked. You remember that?
And
then they were taken to All Saints Cathedral, and they were locked in there.
Yeah, and you saw what happened when people talk about Wangari Maathai and all that issue. It is what the women did actually. It's right. Wangari Maathai who was basically what is called the envelope of all that. But really, it is women who did that, and they made sure at that point they were very mad. And that's why you are saying, when women decide to come into this, Jonah?
Just in case I get the names wrongly, let me just say Koigi Wamwere's mother.
Yes.
I may cause
someone else.
Let me be clear. Koigi Wamwere's mother.
Koigi Wamwere's mother.
And several other women.
Yes. And Jonah, the question is that women are very powerful. I don't know if they know this. I don't know if they understand the power that they have.
Yeah.
Someone was, I was watching another show, somebody was talking about how women should act. And when they go into a situation that they want to act and basically take decisions on themselves and take charge of issues, it actually works for them.
Yes.
And when women come together, it's a very powerful force. Do you know that the most powerful cooperative movements are women? Do you know that the people who raise a lot of money in table banking and what have you is women?
Right.
A lot of it's called small and middle enterprises are women.
Right.
So really the question that women must understand is that they have power. And in these political parties we are talking about, women must take charge of some of these things. You don't have to wait for you to be given. You don't have to wait for nominations. Go for leadership. Let it come after you've already started working.
And right now, when the parties are busy, getting into the elections, I think the women should definitely, there must be so many women around UDA and ODM trying to get into the different parties.
And John, it goes back to what I keep saying. My problem has always been that some of these processes in political parties are basically being driven by people, and sometimes, a lot of times it is men, a lot of times it's old men, who basically just want to have their way around it, and they are going to look for money, and people who have money will end up being sometimes old men, and sometimes young men who basically have gotten money from dubious means. Right. And those are the people they support against good leaders who could have been there, women who have tried to run into these offices. One example I had was a friend of ours from another engagement who's called Rosa Buyu. Now she's an MP. She had to struggle very much, try to get into this leadership severally before she finally made it. So really the question is that you come out, women, go in for this seat, organize yourself, support each other.
It's just amazing what these women go through during politics. You know, right now we are talking of youthful women. There is literally nothing that they cannot hear when they get into politics. I think that's a warning they should be given.
Yeah, they should be given that warning. They will be told everything.
Yes.
And you see what happens is that the people who are cowardly will always look for the easiest way to fight you. They will look for a way that basically goes back to you. You start fighting yourself. Don't fight yourself, and also don't answer them back the way they do it. And I'll quote one woman who talked about this thing. She said, when they go low, you go higher. This is the former First Lady, the US, Michelle Obama, who basically said to women, and even to people who are getting campaigns when people are doing very bad, dirty campaign.
Yeah.
Take it higher. Take it even higher. Take it even higher. Don't go low.
I was on the campaign trail the other time, and I hope I'll be there again. And sometimes when you're busy talking to people, somebody shouts, "Keep off your duet." Then you may leave these people your address. You go to deal with that.
Don't be discouraged. In fact,
that is losing it completely. You leave these people. You go deal with this one who has called you Kiwete.
Don't deal with them, Jonah. What happens? The best way, and I'm just giving my own advice, and I'm not sure if it is experts will agree with me on some things. The best advice is to answer that person in a cryptic manner, in a way that people will enjoy and laugh it off, Jonah. It is the best way to deal with some of these things. Even me, I've been in campaigns, and even as we have names that they will call you, they will look for something.
Yes.
There will always be something to say. That is usually there. People will always find something to discredit you. So sometimes some of us will be told you don't have money. Some of us will be told, "We're mfupi." I mean, Jonah, you are taller than me.
Have you ever listened to some of these politicians when they talk, and you listen to the crowd? I sometimes wonder whether the crowd uses a mind, because when they are listening, they literally listen with words, and the words are heavy. Ndio, whatever, and the words that come out. You mentioned Nicholas Oyo. Kwanza Nicholas Oyo ndio, they say something there. So there is that comes. And
you're forgetting that, Jonah, this is politics, and sometimes it is actually a theater, Jonah. Somebody has basically placed a few people who basically he has paid and knows that they are going to put some words. When he puts some certain words, it's a key for them to respond, and there's a way they respond. So, Jonah, sometimes what you see
is giving up for the youth an option. I mean, it's retreating an option.
No,
is there a stage for retreating?
In fact,
as a
Jonah,
youth in
I will
politics?
tell you, and I will tell you today in this show, and I think everybody is watching.
Yeah.
If the people with disability came out united, joined by youth, it is finished.
Women.
And joined by women, it is finished. There is nowhere to run. There is nowhere to hide for anyone else. That is what has been lacking. And these politicians know this. And they've always found a way of making sure that you don't get your way around. They will find a way of making sure that there's going to be a few people, Jonah, who your opponent will sponsor them to go and say, "Keep off in your rally." So that they know that they are working on you, Jonah.
And maybe as you go in it as a youth or a person with disability, or even as a woman,
you
don't go on the sympathetic card. As you're running
and
for
you don't
those
have to,
party positions.
But this is, Jonah, what I'm saying here.
What do you have to offer?
A unification of the youth, the person with disability, and the women. That's a card that is the same card that Obama used in the US to become president. Obama was only 2 years in Senate, in the National Senate, and became president against all expectations. It was because of having what is called, we call it a group of people who come together to support you. It's a coalition. It's a coalition of union, a union of people. We cannot continue having, and Jonah, the reality is this: the people who get into power in this country are a coalition of tribes.
Okay.
So why can't the coalition of PWDs, youth and women, come together and become the other tribe?
Okay.
Which is going to be a tribe that talks about Kenya.
No, thinking about it, the last parliament, we had, was it 22? Yes, 22. Right now we have 16. We are talking of women. I mean, the numbers are going down. The numbers are going down. With every what am I talking about here? I'm talking about the
elected. You're talking
no.
elected.
I'm talking about the nominated persons with disabilities. I'm getting my facts from here. The nominated people within the counties. We had 22 last time. Right now we have 16. And the shortchanging is going on, so maybe Jonah, next time it's going to go lower.
Jonah, one of the shortchangings that I came to know, which shocked me, was when a very old person from Starehe, I don't want to mention names,
right,
was nominated, I think, for Jubilee, and I'm mentioning the party,
right,
so somebody will find out,
yeah,
to represent persons with disability.
But then there is always an argument. The constitution is not very clear. There are 5 groups. There's minorities, there's workers, there's PWDs, there are normally categories. Is it 3 or 5? Yeah.
Yes.
So it can be for anyone. There is no specific.
I agree.
And that's where now
and that's where the mischief is. And this is the mischief that we have with Parliament when they make laws. And that's why I'm telling you about Parliament making laws for themselves. Because they know that they will need to separate between 2 politicians.
Yeah, you confront the party, they'll tell you we did no mistake. We chose according to the constitution of this country.
Also they will argue that they don't want to put somebody who is not going to push the agenda best. They want the best person who can push the agenda. Yeah. But Jonah, this is the thing.
And by the way, there was a pushing the other time, I don't know by which group, but 70% should be given to the people who ran, people with disabilities, at least, who were found on the ground, and women and all that. Running. And then 30% can be left to those who supported the party, because at the end of the day, the people who supported the party go with the bigger chunk. They, at the end of the day, you see faces you never saw. And these are people who financially
the problem,
supported the party.
And the mischief, Jonah, is this, supported the party is in quotes. What happens is people who somebody maybe have paid something to them, people who maybe have something that they have a deal that they want to do, are given seats, and then somebody says they supported the party. So really, Jonah,
it goes back to shareholding, and there are very many people with that school of thought.
Yes.
Don't joke with that school of thought. Yeah, it's with our deputy president, and it's with many people.
It is there. It is there,
and that is the reality.
This is what I'm saying, and this is what I'm saying.
Right now, the people are up and running, joining parties, and you should go in there, because at the end of the day, the argument will come, where were you?
Yes, but the thing is this, Jonah. Does it have to be Jubilee? Does it have to be ODM? That is, does the party have to be Wiper, or even NC or UDA? The thing is this, political parties are many in this country. In fact, I'm really struggling to get the numbers. I think it is
over 90.
They're over 90 and something. And there are more, I think about 3 that are still in the provisional stage.
Right.
I think there are almost 12 that are in the provisional stage. The issue here is this, Jonah. We must reach to a point that a political party represents what it represents. It must start from the point that, Jonah, there's an ideology you're after, and that ideology is also equal to me as to you. So we come together and form a party.
The question is, what do you stand for at the end of the day?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter in the political lexicon of this country. What do you stand for? That doesn't matter. What matters is how much you have, or who do you know, how tall is your relative, or people who are basically pushing you.
No, I think really, tall, you've missed it. Because I'm one tall man.
Tall, I'm speaking figuratively.
Okay.
Figuratively.
There's a Swahili saying, "Fumbo mfumbie mjinga." I think hapa mimi ndiye mjinga. So
no, I'm speaking figuratively.
Yes.
And the tall means people who basically have means and ways.
Yes.
Really, the question in this country is that has been a problem in this country. You work so hard for parties. Young people who are talking about Jonah, I think you should have taken time to ask them. Every person sit somewhere and just listen to them. Maybe it's something that you need to have a show of that. Listen to them, and they will tell you the struggles they've gone through fighting for those parties. And then when nominations come, somebody they've never heard, they've never seen, they've never known anywhere, just appears and goes.
But these are the people who maybe financially sponsor those parties.
Sometimes it's not really finance. We know there are things that are happening also in other places that are crazy. So we know that some of these things are there. I was fortunate to participate in a meeting where I was engaged with one former member of parliament, Neto Agostino, a friend of mine, even before he became an MP. And that time he was basically pushing for a bill that is going to push for 2/3 gender rule to find a way of dealing with it. And at that time I was working at County Assembly's Forum. So we met and we were meeting the nominated MCAs. Most of them are women. it was a mess, Jonah. They were saying that they are facing problems. They are facing problems because some of the things that they are facing from their colleagues who are saying that some of them came there using ulterior means, other ways, and ways that you can't mention and on this television.
I'm seeing you struggle.
but those are the things that they were basically saying, and they are getting a situation where they are being told that they are members of their MCAs and their others who are supposed to sit elsewhere. So really, Jonah, the question of nomination is a matter that we need to sort. In Free Kenya, we are pushing for a bill that is going to have persons with disability, women, youth, actually getting to be elected just like everyone else. So there is no nomination in our push.
It's amazing what women can do to liberate a country. By the way, are you aware that there is a silent beat during the Mau Mau War? We had a sex workers war where these women would go into the home guards, and you remember they would but that is a very silent part,
and somebody
it's never spoken.
It's a reality. Women have powers, and they have what you call
we are not advocating for such means, but that is what history tries to keep quiet or silent over,
and it is unfortunate. It is a power that women have. Let's say we are not advocating for that, but then the reality is this, Jonah. When women decide to take charge of issues, and that question you're talking about,
serious.
I'll give you a question.
When women get into the mix, it is finished.
It is finished, and somebody even said that it is women who get you elected. I was in a meeting, a very serious meeting, and somebody said that the young men will always lie to you, but they will be in one corner. They go to another corner, put in a UDA T-shirt. They run, put in a Jubilee T-shirt in the next corner. In the next corner, they have a KANU T-shirt, and the next corner they have an ODM T-shirt. But a woman who says that I'm going to vote for you, Jonah,
exactly,
they will vote for you.
Exactly, and that's why somebody said that if you want to keep the nation stable, make sure the women are okay, because the moment the women get rubbed wrongly,
and if they act, Jonah, there was one case in South America where they said that they are going to deny, I'm speaking in this TV, but they are going to deny the men something. And,
I remember Raila spoke
as one of the
I remember the Filimbi movement that time when they were saying Chiloba must go and all that. There was that aspect. So this is the time for the youth and women to get into parties.
Women and persons with disability, I'm calling on you, Jonah.
Yes.
Women, youth, persons with disability together, we have finished this thing. Somebody talked about revolution. It is a revolution, Jonah, if we get that.
Okay, that's your opinion. That is your opinion.
I can promise you.
That is your opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
We are comfortable. Some of us are comfortable. And I am comfortable.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so...
Tall and comfortable.
Yes.
I get it.
Of course, we give accolades where accolades are necessary.
Yeah.
You know, we've just congratulated Martha Koome for the nomination.
Yes.
And there are many
vice president in Benin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess your opinions kindly. Viewers, the opinions of the SG. We encourage you to give your comments about the opinions that are being shared here. 011980384. Youth and politics. We've measured a lot on that today. I don't know where you are as a youth. The parties are busy bringing out people. Where are the people with disabilities? You know, as UDA, ODM, and several other parties are going out recruiting people. Look for a party that you need to belong to. Of course, our SG would say be independent.
At this point in time, come to me, we work something out.
We should have a party of independence.
Yeah.
That's now another party.
Yeah, we are going to put something, and you're going to see. You're going to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well said. My name is JONAH SIMBA, by the way. See you next week hapa on Politics Today. Hapa tunachapa siasa. Bye-bye.